I have just returned from an end of summer vacation and I took 3 things with me that I think are going to help you on any vacation and through any season where you feel like you might be confronted with lots of food and you worry about overeating. Let's face it, when we talk about vacation, I feel like there's always some sort of joke around weight gain and how much we ate over the holidays and okay, how much we drank. And it kind of becomes like that constant party joke where people talk about their weight, but it doesn't have to be that way. So in this video, I want to share those 3 things, and they are from a mindful eating perspective. I think they're going to help you through any summer vacation, fall vacation, and into things like October, November, and December, where we have Thanksgiving and lots of holidays coming up where there's traditional foods and all this talk about overeating that we want to do because the foods are delicious and half the time we don't get them all the year. So if you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Tanya and I love to talk about all things pro-aging and all things health and wellness with a mindful eating perspective and really help myself and you find this middle of the road of wellness. And that might be through candid conversations as well. So if these are the kind of conversations that you want to have, I'd love you to stick around and subscribe. And if you're coming back, well, thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. I'll tell you, it was easy to kind of plan how to be a nutritious eater when it comes to taking a vacation where you're camping. I was traveling in a trailer, like a travel trailer on the back of a pickup truck. And I was going with a couple of friends, and we all have sort of like-minded interests. My partner as well, we sort of eat the same way. So it was easy to bring food along that is nutritious because, hey, we were camping. But you know what? I will do the same thing when I go to a hotel this weekend for a wedding and I have to eat out all the time. I actually don't enjoy eating out that much. It depends where I go, but I digress. You probably can't see that I have a very fluffy golden retriever down here, which soon is going to make me sneeze. So the 3 things I took with me on this particular vacation that had a mindful eating perspective aren't things that I packed in a suitcase or in my travel trailer. They weren't a specific measuring cup, a pot and pan, or even a mindful eating cookbook. They were my hunger cues, my fullness cues, and also my satisfaction cues. These 3 things are really good areas to start to tune in if you want to just sort of move away from maybe a diet into more intentional eating. Now, even if you are on a diet, this is something that you can practice to start to combine, I guess, philosophies of how we eat, because dieting isn't going anywhere and you may actually feel like that's something that you need. And I'm not here to tell you not to do that. I want you to do you, boo. And I really don't believe in intentional weight loss as a means to health, but I am here to respect what other people desire for their bodies. And I'm all about body autonomy. Autonomy is one of my core values. So anywho, what if you honed in on hunger this holiday season or on any vacation? Hunger has so many different nuances in the body. You can be really, really starving or really, really full. And there's lots of in-betweens. And if you looked up the hunger scale, you would see that there would be advice that you should kind of eat somewhere in the middle. So if you're like a 3 or a 5, maybe that's the time that you should go think about what you want to eat, rather than waiting until you're completely starving and you want to eat a table leg. Now, fullness cues work the same way. You may be eating when you're like on the fullest side of the scale, but there's something that you really, really like and you just want one more bite. Now, doesn't that sound like the holiday season and maybe pumpkin pie or some kind of chocolate dessert? Because sometimes that happens. But if you start to look at your fullness in gradients, much like hunger on a scale of 1 to 10, when there's variances in between, you can tune into what your body is doing and feeling before you get to that point of utter fullness. Now, this may require a little bit of a recheck around how you fill your plate, the options that you put on your plate, and maybe even saying no to cleaning your plate, which I know rubs some of us the wrong way. It certainly does for me because I grew up with food scarcity with a single mom, and throwing out food and wasting food, as a big no-no. But if you want to get to a place of peace with your food and in your food relationship and feel good about what you're putting in your body, starting to tune into those 2 cues alone, the hunger and the fullness, is one way to get to know what your body needs rather than relying on someone else to tell you what your body needs. And also understanding that these needs change day to day, season to season, and even with your activity level. Now, that 3rd thing was satisfaction. Have you ever felt really full, but not satisfied. I will tell you, when all I used to eat for lunch was vegetables and maybe half a cup of rice, I felt really full. And most of the time I felt satisfied until I didn't. And then I would have a sugar craving because I didn't have protein or I didn't have enough fat. And I needed more energy to hit my brain and keep my energy up, my physical energy. So sometimes we can have those kinds of food, like a really big salad. And I'm not saying I don't enjoy a really good salad. Sometimes I do. And I can make a salad a really good meal. But when we are just looking to fill ourselves up and have low calories, we can feel really full, but something's missing. We just don't feel satisfied. So on this vacation, I made sure that not only did I bring things along that made me feel satisfied, but I allowed foods in that also would give me some joy and satisfaction of eating them. Things like homemade ice cream and homemade cinnamon buns at a lovely little store that I found in town. And while we're on the topic of hunger, satisfaction, and fullness, I actually ate them when I was full after having a little nibble, car side after a hike. Is that actually a word, car side? You know, at a picnic table outside the car. And I wasn't hungry, but we stumbled upon this place and I was not going to pass up the opportunity for the joy of homemade ice cream and the satisfaction of a really good cinnamon bun. And so we all shared flavors and shared pieces of cinnamon bun and moved on. It was really fun. Now, I gotta say, by using these 3 things, I didn't feel the need to overeat on this vacation. I did not have sugar cravings. And I will tell you that over the summer and maybe over the last year, I was really fighting those because I was becoming a more rebellious eater. When you let go of dieting, there is something that takes over in some of us where we don't want to be told what to eat. But I'm going to talk about rebellious eating in the next video. But for now, I would love you to walk away from this video and think about your hunger and your fullness at any given time of day. You don't have to change anything about the way you eat right now, but just start tuning into when you're hungry and when you allow yourself to eat. Start tuning into when you're full and when you might still be having food to get to that over full spot when you're overeating. Tune into when you might be full, but maybe you're not full enough and you're pulling yourself away from the table because you fear overeating. And in all of that, in anything you choose, can you actually tune into how satisfied you are with your next meal? Yeah, when you sit down to your next meal, ask yourself in your head, you don't have to ask yourself at the table, hey, how satisfied am I? That would sound a little odd, but seriously, ask yourself, how satisfying is the meal in front of me? Am I just eating it because it's there? Am I eating it because it's hungry and it tastes delicious? Am I eating it because it's good for me and I don't enjoy it? Start to tune in to what satisfies you. And when you do that, you will become a more intentional and satisfied, well-rounded and conscious eater. And that's something I think we all want in midlife. We want to have health. We want to have good nutrition. And damn it, we want to have fun too. We want to feel fulfilled. It isn't just food that fulfills us, but when we are hungry for something, sometimes we turn to food. And that's what we think is going to fill the hole. I do hope you like this video. I do have a playlist on mindful eating and the food relationship. I'm slowly trying to add to those. And if you feel like you would like to learn more about mindful eating and food and your body, put a comment below that says trust and I'll make another video. For now, I'm going to enjoy the fall sunshine and I will see you again in the next video.